Okay, sheepdogs, let's talk about dice. It's a thing that I've done for a long time. I've talked about it before. I keep dice around as a reminder of, the white die and the red die from Risk. I grew up playing a lot of Risk as a kid, and it's just a great visual for me that I want to be able to roll as many die in my favor as possible, and have the white die, the defender die, re-roll in sixes, and I want the attacker die and the red die rolling ones. You've all heard me talk about that. If you haven't, you can dig back through the dusty archives of my podcasts and my chat with the chaplain moments. But one of the things I've started doing is I've got a die. There's one by my medicine cabinet. There's one at my primary desk I sit at. I've got a client that I do a lot of work for that they've set me up with kind of an office like stuck back in a cubby hole, and I've got one there, and where I work out. They're all over the place, and it's a single die, and it represents how mentally and physically and emotionally prepared I am to be a cop, to be there for my guys, to protect a church, whatever. I've got a long history with church safety and doing some executive protection for ministries and things. And so what I will do is, if I have been to jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, I've started recently doing murder yoga, as I like to call it, and getting folded into a pretzel. I'm pretty much at the tackle dummy phase. I'm a white belt, so my mission is survive and stay alive. I will find you. And they'll find me twisted into a knot and stuck in a corner. But have I gone to jiu-jitsu this week? If not, then that's one point off my die. Have I worked out? I try to work out about 3 times a week. And where am I at spiritually? Where am I at mentally? Have I taken downtime? And so if I haven't done these things, that die roll drops. And if it gets to a 4, I start getting real uncomfortable. And so my goal is to maintain my level of physical fitness and maybe bless it a little bit, maybe raise it a little bit above where it was. I would like to stay at pretty close to the level of physical fitness, if not a little higher than what I was at in the academy. That's going to be a challenge. And so, have I taken downtime and done these things? And so I'm at a level of fitness now. I've slimmed down. I'm watching how I eat. Probably not as good as I should, but a lot of the sugars and things are gone out of my diet. I fit into a pair of slacks for a funeral the other day that I wasn't able to get into 4 years ago. So I try to watch those things. And like I had to buy a vest recently. I bought a brand new bulletproof vest for myself, and I bought it from Safe Life Defense. And it's got the little side soft plates. It's a level 3A plus, and it's got all the MOLLE on the front of it. I'm rearranging it. I'm getting all my gear in line because the department that loaned me a vest when I became a reserve for them, that department, I returned my vest to them because I want to be able to wear this vest no matter where I am. And so whatever department I'm working with, I may end up carrying as many as 4 reserves. I don't know for sure. Right now I carry 2. I'm probably going to carry for sure 1 more. I may carry a 4th. I don't know. We'll see. But all that being what it is, where am I at equipment, mentally? Have I rested and recovered? Have I processed things? Have I journaled? And so if I start getting behind on stuff, I lower the die roll. I literally turn the die until it's low. And if I haven't done something, like it's been a few days since I've journaled, and I just do a brain dump into my journal and think about what have I been through and what am I processing, and you see some pretty crazy things. I got to deal with for those of you in law enforcement, as primary on scene, I got to deal with my first naked, very large rotund man off his medication, and the things that he was doing, let's just say they're not safe for family consumption, so I'm going to leave those out of the video. But as I process things, where am I at on this stuff? And this morning I was kind of going through some things, doing some little rat killing projects around the house to have those little feelings of success and process things. And I have a friend that lives very far out of state that's my brother, that we ended up on the phone and just talking about God and life and processing through some things that we're both going through, being a sounding board for each other. And I came away from that so refreshed. I mean, I worked out over the weekend. I'm going to jiu-jitsu tonight, and I really got to process through some stuff. I would put myself at a high 5, if not a 6 right now, because of that. So that's where I'm saying those things is I take that die and it's a reminder. And I was sharing that with my wife the other day, and she's like, that's really cool. That makes a lot of sense. And I don't like that if that die roll starts moving, and I'm honest with myself. Well, crud, I only worked out once this week, and I missed jiu-jitsu, and I haven't journaled, and I haven't had quiet time with the Lord. I owe myself this time to get these things under control, because I can't be the godly man. I can't be a man of God that I'm supposed to be. I can't be the right husband, the right father, the right grandfather, the right friend, the right chaplain, the right police officer if I'm not where I need to be emotionally, mentally, and physically. And I get a very strong sense of satisfaction out of what I do as a chaplain, but even little wins like working out, it hurts and it's uncomfortable, but when I get done with it, it's a very strong feeling, especially early in the morning, and I knock that out of, all right, cool, I did this. Last night I went to a movie with some buddies, and we went and saw a movie that was just released, and I slept in a little bit this morning because it was a late night, and we don't bounce back from that as fast as we did when we were younger. And so it's just one of those things help me to stay where I need to go, the time with the friends and everything. You got to have that balance in life. So to bring it all back together, dice are cheap. Maybe you want to throw a dice up on your desk at work, and you glance down at that thing and you're like, yeah, I've not done these things that I know. I haven't had the time with family. I missed church on Sunday. Whatever it is that you know keeps you in the right headspace, that keeps you operational and where you need to be. Maybe that little changing of the dice will help you to realize you're not where you need to be optimally. Because if we don't roll that high die and the devil comes after us, whatever the bad things are in life that are going on in that moment, we're not going to be ready for it, and it's gonna mess with us. So what's one I haven't said to you guys in a while? One of my favorites is keep your powder dry. That's keep yourself, keep everything that you need to be where you need to be. So may the Lord bless you and keep you. May His face shine upon you. Remember, Semper Disciplina, that lifestyle of discipline training. God bless.